What's going on, guys? Captain Rick, and we're back with another video. We have not done a top 5 type video in a few years. It's probably one of the more, I would say, popular videos on our channel. So I'm sitting here on the boat getting some stuff ready for the weekend. Figured let's just do a quick video. We'll show some of the hot stuff that's been consistent throughout the season. It's not a very easy season for us over here in Lake Ontario. The fishing is very scattered. So having the correct baits, or having baits that work for you, that you have confidence in the water, can really turn your day around. So we're going to go through 5 flashers, 5 spoons, and we're going to kind of touch upon some of the stuff that has been working for us and where we're kind of putting it in the water column, which I think is important. A lot of guys will tell you what's hot, but they don't tell you where it's working in the water column. And I think, especially with spoons, that's a huge factor. So we'll start off. This is a Salmon Candy green BAM flasher, and there's a green BAM fly behind it. That's been a great producer for us for years. I especially like it when we get down to the yoke and we're fishing June, July, August, when there's some steelhead around. This is something I will tend to put on a high diver and keep it in that 50 to 60 degree water. You know, the water the steelhead are hanging in, right at that thermocline, water that salmon don't mind coming up into and feeding. This has been a great producer for years, and it's been good for us for the last handful of weeks. So we throw this out there more times than not on our late morning, afternoon trips. I do have some buddies that have this thing going first thing in the morning, but that is one that if you don't have, you want to get it. Again, Salmon Candy. Green BAM with a green BAM fly. The next flasher is an oldie but goodie, and it's just a hammer time. This is a hammer time E-chip. It's got a Twinkie rig behind it with just a glow head. This has been great on divers. This has been great on the riggers. It took the only 2 salmon we boxed last Saturday before we ended up going in and going brown trout fishing. This has always been a good rig, and we're always going to have this one in the water. A white flasher, this is going to be the only white flasher you see here. But we're running this on our low divers. We're running this on our deep riggers. Just mixing it up between riggers and divers. We've even thrown out on the 400 copper at times, 350 copper, and it's gone there. So this has gone in a lot of different spots for us. The next flasher is a 10-inch green and black UV2 face. So you'll see it's a chrome paddle, green, black dots, UV tape on both sides. This is paired with a stud fly. Again, a great flasher for us over the course of many, many years. A friend of mine, Paul Zarnicki, used to love putting this one in the water. And it's just a great flasher. We tend to put it out later in the morning, during the afternoon when the sun's high. It seems to work best. But we have had a few opportunities where this has gone earlier in the day. Our next flasher is one that I kind of took off of Dan Keating when I was helping him with a seminar in Rochester back in March. And guys, if you're watching my videos, you're probably going to see most of the stuff that we're going over here because it's been working for us week in and week out. But this was a flasher that I had bought years ago. It has all the great colors in it, but I never was able to get it to fire. So this is a Dragon Slayer. It's an E-chip. Dan told me that he loved that Aqua Howie behind it. I never owned an Aqua Howie, so I went over to FishUSA and I purchased an Aqua Howie fly. This thing has been a stud the last few weeks. Been catching fish on it consistently. I forgot about it this spring. I wish I would have pulled this out back in May when we were fishing Kings up in Niagara County. Completely forgot about this one, but the last flasher I showed you was chrome. The next one I showed you was chrome. And when chrome started to get hot, or for some reason we tended to do a little bit better on chrome flashers this spring, I remember this flasher, broke it out, and ever since it's been one of our better flashers. Always pulling a few fish every day. Our last flasher is one that I purchased it because it looked good. It had the right colors in it, but never was able to get it to go. Up in Wilson, a buddy of mine, Casey Prisco, said, "Hey, I got a hot flasher." He told me about it. I ripped one out of the box. That, we got boxes of these things. Went home, grabbed it out of the box, brought it down, and it became an instant success, or a player. And that is the Kryptonite. This is a Stinger Kryptonite flasher. It's got a green ladder back in there, some UV tape. It's got some UV tape on the back. We're just running some Twinkie rigs behind these things. At times we've had 2, 3, 4 of these in the water. They've been that good. We're running them on this is an 11-inch Salmon Candy version of it. I also have 8 and 10-inch spin doctors in this pattern that have caught fish. Like I said, I have not run this much chrome when it comes to flashers ever, but for some reason this year they've been really hot, so we've been throwing these flashers at the fish to put fish in the box for tournaments and for our customers. So now we'll move on to some of the spoons that have been consistent for us since we started salmon fishing back in May. I'm going to start off with my favorite spoon. It's one I designed years ago, and that's the Seasick Wadler. You can see this one's been chewed up pretty good. Always a great spoon. We fish this everywhere. This can be fished down 100, 110 feet. It can be fished high. A lot of times when we start steelhead fishing, when we start fishing thermoclines in July and August, we'll put this right where that thermocline is, right at 60 degrees. And if the thermocline starts to get deeper, we'll mop this up with a mag above it and run that there. A couple of spoons on this. Again, these are spoons I'll run on my center rigger, which is on my boat. My program is my highest rigger in the water column, and that's because I run a more subtroll. It's got the coated cable, so I don't want all that blowback. If it was my deeper rigger, I've got my FishHawk on my I would call it the rigger that's not the deepest, not the shallowest, kind of that middle rigger. My FishHawk sits on that, and we've got braid in our downrigger, so I don't have to worry about blowback there. But because the moor is on my center rigger, that's always my highest rigger, and my 2 out and downs are usually deeper. But these are 2 go-to spoons first thing in the morning. If you're not putting these down, you're not catching fish as good as you probably could. On the top, we've got the FishUSA Custom Gold UV Alewife. On the bottom, we've got a Moonshine Gold Geezer. These things have been absolutely phenomenal for years on that higher rigger. Again, we're running these in that low 50s to 62 degree water. They catch a ton of steelhead, they catch a ton of kings, especially first thing in the morning. You run these for the first few hours in that part of the water column, they're going to catch you fish. The next spoon is one that's been good for a few years. Jonathan over at Route 18 Tackle was able to paint a few more of these up because they were getting hard to get, but that is a green-eyed monster, a UV green-eyed monster. This one is the double green-eyed monster. So now FishUSA has this in a moonshine version if you want to go over there and get the moonshine version, or you can stop by Route 18 Tackle over here in near the Oak and pick up some of these ones that Jonathan painted. These have been real good. You can see that one's been chewed quite a bit. This one's a spoon a buddy of mine, Jeremy Sage, turned me on to probably a year or 2 ago. It's a color pattern that's been good in many other brands of spoons, but he said that the Salmon Candy UV green jeans was the man and seemed to work better than most of his other green jeans. So I went out and bought a few. This has been absolute fire for us for the last handful of weeks. A lot of times we're putting this on either like on that higher rigger later in the morning, or we are putting it on a copper. That took a few bites last weekend. It takes a few bites for us every weekend, so that's a great spoon and one that you should always have close by if you are salmon fishing, steelhead fishing, especially in the western part of Lake Ontario. So that's kind of my top 5 spoons, top 5 flashers that you probably should have in the boat if you are chasing salmon this year. Again, it's been a trying year, but these seem to be working every time we go out. And they were sitting right on the shelf ready to go when I showed up to the boat today. So I figured, why not make a nice video? Hope you guys get something out of this. If you don't have any of these, again, FishUSA has a lot of the stuff I've just showed you. Head over to their website. I'll try to drop a link down below. Click that link and head over there and grab some tackle. So Good luck fishing this guy. Or good luck fishing if you get out soon, guys. And leave a comment and tell me if any of these work for you.